What's up, YouTube? Just wanted to give you a little glimpse and update video. Um, this is a new whip. I know I haven't updated. The Sequoia sold last month. Yeah, it's been about a month since I sold it already. Today is, let's see what day it is today. It's June 2nd. It's actually my daughter's birthday. So yeah, I mean, should have remembered that day. So yeah, this is a new whip. I got a Tundra. It's a 2015, 60K miles on it. It's a SR5 model, but I like it that it has a bench seat option, and yeah, so it's a good vehicle. The sound system sucks, to be honest with you. I have this is a factory speakers. It's all factory speakers on the doors, up here on the pillars. You got a center channel, so you got your door speakers, which I believe are 6x9s, 3.5s on the dash, which are these up here. Then you got your center channel right there, and then 6.5s in the back. But damn, like, it is an amplified system, but it sucks. I was driving right now trying to play some loud music, and it sounds like it's blown, but it's just distortion. They don't do well. The radio sucks. It has bass roll off, so the higher you turn up the volume, it kind of keeps the volume on the bass the same. After, like, I want to say about after 30. I think after 30 it doesn't really get louder. Right now I have a subwoofer box. So this did have a subwoofer system, so it's just like amplifier for the subwoofer, and it has 2 GL audios behind the seat. But sorry, I kind of turned the camera there, but it kind of sucks. I would want to get, so that's part of the project of this vehicle. Why I'm making the video is give you guys kind of a glimpse to what's coming. I know I sold the Sequoia without finishing the dash kit, but I did get to confirm a lot of things on that build that I could just straight go into building for this. With this one, I will be treating it a little bit different. I won't be, a little chopper coming through here. Anyways, so with this one, I'm not gonna, since Sequoia was older, I was able to go more in depth into, wiring harnesses and bypassing stuff and everything, and I guess that was great for the model year it was. It didn't have Bluetooth, it didn't have a lot of those features, but since this one has a lot of more features, a lot more controls on the steering wheel, I've decided that this one's gonna be a little bit different. So it's not gonna be strictly ran off a tablet. This one's still gonna be ran off a tablet, but through Bluetooth on a headset that's going to be in the back, which will most likely be a Sony from what I'm shopping right now, just because I want the LDAC Bluetooth capabilities, which lets you stream audio through a higher Bluetooth codec, which brings higher quality through the audio. I mean, it's nothing too crazy. It's just a little bit better quality, since I'm technically not going to be running this through HDMI to coaxial, so it's going to be the source through the radio, and that's what I'm going with. I didn't want to go with a coaxial radio because I can't justify the price for the features. I mean, they're still over $1,000. You can find some used for like $800, $900 on eBay, but if you want, like, Sony has one. Sony, I think Sony might be the only one. I think I might have heard that Alpine has one as well. But there's also one Alpine radio this supports a higher codec than LDAC, but that also is over $1,000. And it was only like a 1-year shot, so it's out of production already. So finding it, you would have to find it used, and everybody's asking for over $1,000. Which is also something that I don't want to do. But the reason, being is something that, I've expressed in other videos, is going to facilitate things. As in, I just install a radio behind it. The wire is going to be facilitated for the tablet. Um, Technically, it's just going to be operating off a charging USB camera for the reverse camera on the tablet, and um, audio out is going to be outputted through Bluetooth. I'm not going to have any more HDMI's. Volume control is going to be still handled through the head unit, which will be playing the audio from the tablet, which would allow me to still implement steering wheel controls. This was a little faded. I'm gonna see if I could find it and order it to replace it. But yeah, I mean, I got some work to do, or I have plans for this build, and wow, wait, give me a second. Yeah, let me check my camera. Somebody's not supposed to be at my house right now, but let me check. Sorry, camera sometimes picks up people in the porch from my neighbors. I have the geofencing, is just the detection shielded off, but the angle that my camera is sometimes detects people when they cross on the neighbor's side of the house. So the fence is a chain link fence on one side. So yeah, but anyways, always gotta check, keep your home safe. But anyways, I digress. So yeah, I have plans for this vehicle. Actually, I have bigger plans than the Sequoia. The Sequoia, it's a platform that's now 20. I mean, that is. All right, quick voiceover here just because I missed my point in the original audio. But technically, what I was trying to say here is that the first generation Tundras and Sequoias only ran for 7 years, which is a short time compared to the second generation that's been around since 2007 to 2021. So I feel I will have more impact in the second generation than the first. The views are waiting. A lot of the people, on my channel did start following me because of the Sequoia build, but I think also more for the car audio and stuff that I was doing. And I appreciate anybody that subscribed and watched the Sequoia videos. I hope I was able to help you with anything that you guys were doing, and hope my videos were helpful for you guys. But that vehicle is gone now. The new owner already called me, told me that he put already like 3,000 miles on it. I know he's only owned it for a month, but he did tell me that he was gonna take a trip to I forget where he said, somewhere it was gonna be like a 2,000 miles trip, and then plus what he's been driving around. So I hope he's happy. He did have a few issues arise. I mean, I sold the car, the truck, kind of out of the blue. This opportunity came up again. I had this opportunity last year, but then the person who was selling me this truck backed out, and then decided that we're gonna keep it for a little bit longer because they weren't able to find the vehicle they wanted at the price they wanted. But now this year they ended up finding and buying it, and then decided to contact me if I still wanted it, and I told them yeah. So I picked this up from a relative, so they gave me trade-in value, so I paid them trade-in value on this, so that's why it was a good deal for me. These trucks right now are still selling for over 30 grand with this kind of mileage and in the condition that this one is. Close to 30 grand. I mean, I would have been over 30 grand with fees and dealer and everything. So getting that trade-in value was a great deal. I couldn't pass up, and that's what led me to selling the Sequoia. It's not that I wanted to. It's a better vehicle for what I need. And then if I'm gonna pick it up, because I do need a truck, I'm always borrowing trucks when I need to move stuff. So I decided to buy it. Sell the Sequoia because I don't have enough room for the Sequoia in my driveway. I have my other Fiesta, my wife has her car, my daughter has her car, and then I want to get another car. I like having spare cars just for my daughter or anybody to use when theirs is not working, or my wife, or I have to drop off one for service. I just have one. So the thing that we get into trouble is I only have 2 spots for street sweeping. So technically one of my cars when I'm not home because I'm working needs to be in the driveway, plus my other spare car needs to be in the driveway. And then if I had another one or decided to keep the Sequoia, then that would be that. But the Sequoia was not a practical vehicle because it would be pretty much squeezing my driveway space, and I had to share. It's a duplex where I live, so I had to share the driveway with the other person. So Sequoia kind of complicates things with the space I have in the driveway. So yeah, that being said, I know it's a long explanation. That's why I decided to sell. I didn't want to be, I don't need that extra vehicle right now. So it's just like, it would be an extra insurance payment for right now. So I got to figure out something that's fuel economical for my wife to drive and not so big for my daughter to drive when she needs to, when her car's not working or whatever. In case of an emergency, I mean, she also drives a bucket, but I mean, you know, she's young, so she's planning on getting something newer. So once that happens, then I probably won't need to have a third car. My wife will either drive one of these two cars. But yeah, I just had to sell it. It was the time, and then I also needed the money to finish paying for the price of this, because I had to pay out of pocket on this. So yeah, so reason why I sold the Sequoia was that nothing was wrong with it. I actually believe. Sorry, I got a text message. Well, that kind of showed up on the screen, so let me ignore that. I'm gonna have to block that out. But anyways, that's what led me to sell the Sequoia. It's not something that I wanted. I did pull out the sound system because I posted it up for $13,000 initially with the sound system. If you guys saw the videos and were interested in the sound system, you saw that I invested a lot of time and money into it. All in all, I think I was over $4,000 or $5,000 invested into that. But at the end of the day, you know, you can't sell it for what you invested into it. So I ended up seeing that a lot of people weren't interested. They were more interested in getting a better deal on the Sequoia. Keep in mind that these Sequoias around my neighborhood are selling for $11,000 to $12,000 with over 200,000 miles. Mine had 154 at the time that I sold it, or 156, somewhere around there. I forget the exact mileage, but it was around 155, 156, somewhere around there. So we'll just say 155. So, you know, it was significantly lower. I had the services, the major services done, like the timing belt, it's a $2,000 service. I had that done at the dealer. I had the fan clutch replaced at the dealer. I had just put tires on it last year. I did brakes and rotors last year with some upgraded drill and slotted rotors from Detroit. I forget what it is, but it's one of the more popular brands on Amazon. So I had done a lot of work to it to justify, you know, that it was a reliable vehicle. But, you know, all in all, what I always say is, you buy a used car, you know, you never know what you're in for. Sometimes things fail, you know. I could have sold it, and perfect example was my friend bought a 4Runner, perfect running condition, you know, and about 4 or 5 months after he purchased it, his brake booster went out, you know. And if you guys know those brake boosters on those 4Runners from, I think it was like a 2005, 2006, which is similar to, and his was a V8, so it was the same engine as the Sequoia. Finding them used was like $500-600. New is over $1,000. So it's just things that sometimes fail, and there's no control over it. You know, they're older cars, so unfortunately, things fell, and yeah, I got a call recently from the guy who sold it that I guess he went to an alignment shop. He says that something was pulling, or I think he said that his tires were wearing unevenly, which, I mean, when I did the tires, I did an alignment, and granted, I only drove it like 3,000-4,000 miles since I did that tire change last time. From last year, I mean, sorry, because I didn't drive it much this year. My wife actually drove it more than I did because she was using it for a while for work, but nothing that I've noticed. But he says that he took it to the shop told him that something was wrong with the shocks, which kind of surprised me because I just got the Bilstein's 5100s put in January 2024, which was also last year. And he says that something was bent and was keeping them from aligning properly, and that's why it was leading to the tire wear. But, you know, I just gave him all the information he wanted. You know, he just wanted to see if I actually did it. I sent him the receipts and everything that I had from that, which I did keep, so photos, copies of, so at least he knows that I did actually do it, you know, doesn't doubt me on that end. But it just kind of proves my point, you know, things happen. I don't know if it was something I did when I had it, I don't know. I mean, I don't remember going over anything hard. I mean, I took it off-roading once after the shocks, but I mean, that was sometime last year, right after, like 3 or 4 months after I did it. So I think I would have noticed the wear by now, but I don't know, you know, I'm not gonna say anything. Maybe, you know, it could have been him, it could have been me. I mean, he did put 3,000 miles on it too as well, so we'll see. I mean, hopefully he's able to, it's a simple fix. Those 5100s are not that expensive, and if it was only the front one or only one of them, I mean, it shouldn't be too bad of a repair. But I mean, it just sucks sometimes, you know. You would want the people that bought the vehicle to have a kind of carefree experience, at least for a year, you know, before they have to start dumping money into it. But being honest, I put a lot of money into it the first year that I owned it, because that's just how I bought it. You know, I bought it how it was. I got a good deal on it, and you know, I did ball joints, upper and lower. I did what did I do? I'm trying to think. I did tires, I did wheels, I did the transmission fluid flood. It was like, I think in the first year I probably put like close to $2,000 into it. But you know, that's just regular maintenance on cars. But anyways, I think I digress too much into the past now. I get going. I'm sorry, but yeah. So again, Tundra, 2015 4-door Crew Max. This is not the JBL one, so this is a standard system. So there should be an amplifier under this seat. And yeah, I'm gonna go into detail. Actually, I'm gonna do a couple videos. Parking enforcement's coming. I'm wondering if I'm gonna get a ticket, because I'm right here close to this fire hydrant, but I haven't gotten off to check if I'm that close to the red or not, because the red starts somewhere around this tree, the front of this tree, so I might just be over it, but then there's a driveway behind me, so it's a close call. We'll see what the parking enforcement says. If they ask me to move, I'll move. But anyways, yeah, so I do have projects for this one. This one is a little bit more involved just because of the audio subwoofer limitations. I like my bass, so the hardest part and the thing that I think I'm gonna build on, because I always choose one thing to kind of go on to focus and do, is gonna be seat spacers. Because I'm not even gonna say it, because I don't want anything to arise from what I'm gonna do later on. But I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna do seat spacers. Just keep in mind that seat spacers to lift the seat up and push it forward, you know. I got one thing that I also gotta do a video on is I got a 3D printer. I'm gonna go through the setup of that's gonna be another project for this channel, is a 3D printer. I bought a 3D printer. I don't know anything about 3D printers. I bought a used one from a guy that told me he had a lot of modifications done to his. Originally it was a $400 printer, and he did about $400 of modifications onto it. It's a little dated. I've seen little things, but it's good for what I want. I'm gonna learn how to 3D print on that. So that curve is gonna be very steep, but I'm gonna bring you guys for the process of everything that I'm gonna go through. For anybody that's interested about doing it, it's just gonna facilitate things. But that's leading into me probably producing some prototypes for the seat spacers, just to get functionality. Obviously, that is not a material you want to use for your seat spacers, but just to proof of concept how much space is it gonna give me for a subwoofer box behind the seat. Also space underneath the seat. So I got some measurements that I want to try play with. I might try to do 2 or 3 variations of it. You know, see what I'm able to fit with one variation, see what I'm able to fit with another variation, and it's all gonna be the cubic space. Right now, as it is in the back, you get about maximum 2 cubic feet, and I think it's under that, it's like 1.7 cubic feet on the sub box that it has right now. So that being said, I gotta figure it out. I'm gonna take that challenge, and that's the one that's gonna be the biggest challenge here. But I also want to take this time. I have a lot of car audio tools and a lot of information in my head, I guess, that I sometimes want to share, and I don't know why, but I think this vehicle is gonna be the perfect project from start to finish to start sharing that information. I didn't get to do it to the Sequoia because I technically started with the radio with the Sequoia. That's what I wanted to focus on, the radio that I installed. This was 2021, I think. If you go back to my YouTube channel, that's kind of when I started focusing on the channel. And first I wanted to focus on the joint units, which I do have a big opinion. I'm going to do another video on that because I did take the unit out and keep it. And I'm going to make another video on that. I'm digressing a lot, but I just want to kind of give you guys updates on what's coming next on the channel. And give you some reviews and views on that, you know, because I've had Android units before, and they were crappy 1-2 years used max. And the joint was better, but I had it for 4 years, and I want to say about the last year, maybe 9 months, it wasn't doing that great, you know? So I just decided to go ahead and do something else. So I took it out because I didn't want to sell it with the issues that it had. Honestly, to be honest with you, that's what happened. Is I didn't want to sell it with the issues that it had, because the steering wheel control stopped working. It would work periodically. What else was working? The 4G kept coming in or would come in late. Data connectivity would drop off. Sometimes I'd be driving and it would drop off and then come back on. It was starting to glitch out. It would need a restart. I would put it into reverse and then come back to drive or whatever, and it would power cycle technically. So for that reason, I didn't want tire kicking, so I decided to take the radio out, put another generic one, cheap one that had Android Auto, just to give the person the features. And I mean, at that point, I had already taken out all the cables, all the sound system. So yeah, that's what I ended up doing. So I'm gonna do a review on that. You know, as far as that's gonna tie into my tablet build, why I'm going with a tablet. It's just, you know, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the video is gonna be based on reliability. The radios, 2 or 3 years down the road, we don't know where you're gonna be, and then to be shelling out, you know, $400 or $500 now. I think they're pushing to the 500 to 600 range every 3 years because it doesn't function. Support, you know, you have all those issues. That's what I'm gonna touch on later on in another video. Go more into detail on that one. But yeah, that's another video I wanted to do. But yeah, a lot of my videos are now going to be focused right now, car audio, 3D printing, a little bit into the DTF. I still got to do the DTF. I haven't done a lot of shirts, so that's another video I want to do. But slowly but surely, I'm trying to get content out. I've been grateful that this is a busy year for me for work. So this is my main source of income. So I'm going to keep doing work first and then YouTube later. So I hope, you know, you guys can understand that and don't get mad at me for it. But yeah, I mean, that's where the channel's going. Stay tuned to watch more videos of this. I'm gonna see if I have a picture of the Tundra from the exterior, and then I'll share it with you guys. I have some cosmetic things in the outside that I want to take care of, but we'll go over that on another video. But yeah, I mean, happy with this purchase. You know, hopefully it's gonna be a good truck to me, and it'll last me a long time, and hopefully projects get finished on this one. A lot of projects got finished on the Sequoia. It's just, you know, if you saw when the video started, it took about a year to get stuff done and out. I hope this one moves a little bit faster. I'm just trying to recover right now because, you know, it's a big hit in the money-wise. So right now I'm trying to catch up. You know, a lot of things are going on in my personal life. I don't want to get into detail, but yeah, so once I catch up a little bit financially, you're going to start seeing videos on this. And I think you're going to start seeing videos on me testing things, just so you guys figure out how to test clipping, test this radio sucks. I'm going to use it as an explanation for why you would want a sound system that's different setup than what this factory system is. And maybe start explaining people in more layman terms how they understand, I mean, how I understand audio, and maybe help them understand car audio, and why certain things should be done a certain way, just to kind of, you know, give you a better sound experience in your vehicle. But I do have a lot of experience in this, and I feel a lot of people don't. I feel that now that I'm selling things. So all my sound system was for sale. Batteries, everything sold except for the only two things that I have left is DSP and the subwoofers. That's it. Everything else sold, all my amps, everything sold. So I'm having a hard time selling the subwoofers because people don't know too much about them. They're good subwoofers. Some guy came to look at them, just to look at them the other day. He just told me like, oh yeah, well, I didn't want to buy today. I just wanted to look at them and then make my mind if I want. I was like, dude, you made me carry 300-pound fucking box out of my house, put it on a cart and, you know, test it out for you here in this Sequoia, because it does have a sound system. It's not powerful. It wasn't pushing them hard or anything, but they could hear them, you know. And he made me do all that just to tell me that he wasn't planning on buying it. I was like, dude, like, you know, but that's what it is, you know, selling stuff online. But a lot of the things, like, I got a lot of questions on the DSPs. Question for guys, can I use this for 12 channels? Like, yeah, I was like, yeah, like, if you have it, you would need, you know, pretty much power 10 speakers and subwoofers, or even more if you use splitters. I was trying to explain something out, but it would have given me like these features. Can I have a 7.1 surround sound? I was like, well, technically it doesn't have that feature, but you could kind of make that feature yourself. You know, 7.1 surround is like, what people don't understand is just 7 points of sound, you know. Unfortunately, most head units is going to be your limitation, because even if you want, it depends what you want. This is what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people don't understand what they're asking, so they were like, "Oh no, I don't want to buy it because it doesn't have the surround." And to me, it's like, it doesn't matter that it doesn't have a surround sound, because what are you going to play it off of that has a surround sound? If your stereo or head unit does not support surround sound, what does it matter if the DSP has it? What content are you going to play that requires surround sound? Unless you're watching it on your phone or something, and then you're connecting to your DSP and you could watch movies on your phone with a surround. So then you're lacking on the viewing experience. So it's like, what's the point of having that badass sound, surround sound, if you're playing it off your phone screen, which is not the most... You get me? I know I'm digressing and going, but it's just like, what are your expectations to reality, you know? Because you could do a 5.1 surround pretty much on any car audio. 7.1, it's a little bit more tricky, because now you're talking about staging things that your stereo cannot provide unless it does support it. In which case you would have to have separate signal coming in, which most DSPs only take 6 channels in. So then you would be lacking that subwoofer channel, which then you would have to convert from a full signal to DSP. Well, you can still do it, like I'm saying, but it's just gonna complicate things. But hopefully this experience that I have will help you kind of set up what you want, because you could do a 5.1 surround with any DSP technically, because all you need is you have a center channel, which you could set up, so that's your one channel, and then your other 2 channels would be your fronts, so that's 3 channels, and then you have your 2 rears, which is 5 channels, right? And then you would have 1 sub. So technically that's your 5 speakers to 1 surround. So you have your front, your center. So right here, perfect example is Sequoia. I mean, this Tundra. You could, I keep calling it Sequoia. This Tundra, right? You could have your front, so 1 channel, 2 channel over there, 3 channel, and then implement the door speakers into this front ones, because they're actually right now linked. So technically these are wired to those, so they're working in conjunction. So technically this would be your front and your center, and then you have your 2 rears and then your sub. So that's technically a 5.1 surround. So say, you know, a car's crashing behind you, the radio could put that into the rear signal and make it just play in the rear channel. So that's what I'm trying to get at. So that would technically, in essence, make it 5.1 surround. But, you know, some people don't understand that, and they ask these questions, and then once I tell them, no, well, it doesn't have that features. Not that it doesn't have the features. You can kind of pretty much customize audio with a DSP to however you want to surround you. You can even use 2 center channels, 1 in front of you, 1 behind you, and give you like a stadium. Somebody asked me that, like a stadium, like where the sound. I think they were trying to say spatial audio. Does it support spatial audio? I think that was asked that. I was like, I don't know of any DSP that supports the spatial audio. But technically using front and rear stages with center stages in the front, I think you could have a full surround system where the audio would surround you from every point, with a mixture of in the center channel from left and right. You could have kind of a surrounding field of sound behind you as well. So it's just, what do you want to do, you know? It's your mind is your only limitation, I think. And that's what I'm trying to get to, like, help you guys figure setups up for your cars and you know, try it out. I mean, you're not gonna find out anything unless you try it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I know it's a long video. I always make long videos, but I hope you guys enjoy it and stay posted for new videos, and give this a thumbs up. If you liked it. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. I don't really care. I don't monetize off of these videos, but you know, everything I do is to try to help somebody else out. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm gonna try to have that video. I'm not making any promises because my schedule changes constantly, but I want to at least do gain setting on this radio, maybe some scanning and analyzing the signals to explain some of the bass roll off and stuff that happens with my RTA. I have all these tools, man. I have all these tools from all my experience and everything, so I want to show you guys visually what you're looking at. I know there's channels to do it, but I want to do like a comprehensive all around what you want to check to start your system, and then why you want to usually replace your factory head unit. On newer cars, that's becoming more complicated because they're more integrated. But yeah, just go into options and stuff and explain that to you guys. But yeah, stay tuned. Hope you guys be seeing more videos of me soon. Stay safe.